Hi, I'm Hanbit, and I'm a pastry chef from Korea. Hi everyone, it's Hanbit here. 안녕하세요, 조한빛입니다. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make delicious Breton cookies. This cookie goes by the name of Sable Breton or sometimes Galette Breton. It's characterized by the overall richness which comes from the butter and the egg yolks. It is surprisingly easy to make and it's fantastic. Trust me, you'll love it. I'll go through the ingredients. Basically, all your ingredients need to be at room temperature. So that's somewhere around 20 to 22 degrees Celsius. I'm going to use the creaming method, which is the method that I've used many times in my previous videos. So first up is the butter. This butter is around 20 to 22 degrees Celsius, so another way to call it is soft butter. Powdered sugar, you want your batter or your dough to be smooth, so I suggest you use powdered sugar. Egg yolks, I've rarely seen whole eggs being used for Breton cookies. It's almost always egg yolks. And this is what gives the rich flavor for the Breton cookies. Dry ingredients, so that's cake flour, baking powder, and salt. Salt is actually a very important ingredient in Breton cookies, where you have that bit of saltiness which is balanced out by the richness of the butter. And finally, rum. You might not have seen rum being added to the Breton cookies. You can leave it out, it's fine. But it does help in getting rid of the eggy smell and also just makes it more interesting. First, I'm going to smooth out the butter. And now the powdered sugar. Now I'm going to mix in the powdered sugar, and what you need to remember is that for Breton cookies, the lift is done by the baking powder. So you don't need to worry about incorporating a lot of air for the lift. In fact, you don't want to incorporate much air because if you do, then there's going to be too much lift. So just be gentle when you're mixing in the powdered sugar. Now I'm going to add in the egg yolks in 3 additions. Just make sure that your egg yolks are at room temperature. The egg yolks are mixed in well, so now I'm going to add in my sifted dry ingredients. I've still got a bit of unmixed dry ingredients, but I'm going to add in the rum and then mix it well all together. I'm going to finish it off with my spatula. So my batter or the dough looks good. I'm going to put this between parchment papers and roll it out. I'm going to use these leveling bars to roll this out to a thickness of 1 centimeter. The thickness is completely up to you. You can make it thicker or thinner, but just remember that if you adjust the thickness, you need to adjust the baking time as well. Right, so that looks perfect. I'm going to rest this in the fridge for around 2 hours. Right, so here's the rolled out dough that's been in the fridge. I'm going to cut circles out using a cookie cutter. Now, a tip here. What do you do with the leftovers like this? You don't throw away the leftovers. Just bring them together into a single dough, roll them out, as I did before, and use it again. You reuse it. You don't throw away anything. By the way, I'm going to use these tart rings when baking my Breton cookies. And the reason is because I want my Breton cookies to expand upwards and keep a nice round kind of circle shape rather than kind of flattening out. So my Breton cookies will have a really nice shape, like a perfect circle. And I'm going to use tart rings of 6 centimeter diameter. And the tip here is that I didn't cut them out into exactly 6 centimeters using the cookie cutter, but my cookie cutter is around kind of 5.6 to 5.7 centimeter in terms of the diameter. So it's slightly smaller than the tart ring. And the reason is because it tries to expand, and if it's extremely tight, A, you can't actually fit them inside the tart ring if it's exactly the same size, and B, you want to give just a bit of space so that it doesn't get kind of too stuck to the tart ring. And that's why the diameter of my cookie cutter is slightly smaller than the diameter of the tart ring. Great, now the egg wash. This egg wash is just egg yolks only. And now the fun part is to carve out a pattern using a fork. Great, now I'm going to put it in the preheated oven and bake it. Wow, look at my Breton cookies that have just come out of the oven. They look so good and it smells heavenly. I'm going to let it cool down and then try it. Now my Breton cookies have all cooled down, so I'm going to try it. Honestly, these Breton cookies are amazing. There are no other ways to describe it. You have that strong flavor of butter, which is great, and with the saltiness, it just balances out everything. It's perfect. Hopefully you've enjoyed this tutorial on Breton cookies. As you have seen, it's not difficult. It's exactly the same as making any other cookies, so it's rather easy, so please try it because you'll love it. Anyway, I'll come back next time with another amazing recipe. Thank you very much. 감사합니다.
I don't know if you know yet.